Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Can't Wait Wednesdays here on the KB Radio Network. This is the show where we preview upcoming TV shows and films of the week. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and welcome all to the final week of February 2023. We have a lot of content dropping this week, which is weird. Normally, you don't get this much at the end of February, but I guess it's so much going on. Since the pandemic, a lot of projects were pushed back and, uh, you know, coming out fast and furious, and they just jam packed in these months here that are normally like the dead zone of film and television. But these are some very interesting properties that are dropping this week, and we have six this week that are dropping. Three TV shows and three films that are dropping this week. So we have a little something for everyone. And let's jump right in. Well, let's start off with a season 2 premiere. Season 2 of this show drops February the 23rd. Yes, tomorrow on Peacock. It is Bel Air. Yes, I guess you can say, dramatic remake of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And season 2 comes out tomorrow, February the 23rd on Peacock. And in case you don't know what Bel Air is, the premise is the series follows Will Smith's complicated journey from the streets of West Philadelphia to the gated mansions of Bel Air. It deep dives in racial tension, cultural shock, and black excellence. Uh, this series stars Jabari Banks as Will Smith, Cassandra Freeman as Vivian Banks, Coco Jones as Hillary Banks. We also have Jimmy Akingbalak as Jeffrey Thompson, and many more. This show is a show that I have not watched. I did not watch the first season. The reason I didn't watch it, and a lot of people recommended this show to me. And for a split second, I was considering watching it, but it just did not appeal to me. I'm such a huge fan of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I grew up on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Will Smith and you know DJ Jazzy Jeff getting thrown out the house. You know what I'm saying? It was part of my childhood, and I didn't want to see a reimagining of that show. But they have their fans, and from what I understand, it is a good show. I have not watched it. Um, that's not to say that I won't. Being as though a season 2 is here, lets me know that it was successful. It was worth putting in the money as far as Peacock is concerned to continue on with this story. So, it is something that I will consider sitting down and watching. But it was something that really, I don't know, it was just tough for me. And I think my wife watched a couple of episodes. I don't think it jived with her, but that wasn't the reason why I didn't watch it. I just didn't feel like I was gonna like it. And I watched a little short film that this particular version of Bel Air is based on, and I didn't too much care for it. The appeal of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air was the comedy, the awkwardness, the cultural shock of how they handled it. Now they doing it in a real way here on this show, but I don't want to see that. When I think of Bel Air, I think of Carlton and Will and their banter back and forth. I don't want to see a serious take on that, but I may sit down and watch it and feel differently. And I'm mentioning it on the show, even though I'm not gravitating to this particular show. I know a lot of people are, and I wanted to let you know that it is coming out. Season 2 is coming out, and I may watch it and feel completely different, and I'll be the first to jump on here and say, "Man, I got it wrong." I got it wrong, but we shall see. But for everyone who is all caught up, unlike myself, season 2 of Bel Air drops this Thursday, February the 23rd on Peacock. Our next can't wait is another show that, once again, not I haven't watched this either. And it's not because of any betrayal of my childhood. It's because I just haven't gotten around to watching it. And I mean, none of it. And this is the sixth and final season of this show. And when I found that out, I was like, oh my God. All Everyone that I know who watched this show loves this show. And they want to talk about it with me. They're like, man, you have you watched? Nah, I haven't. And I haven't watched. Man, you want to talk about fighting mad? They want to fight me because man, you need to get around to watching it, bro. We need to talk about it, man. We need to do. I'm like, oh, okay, but it always slips through the cracks, and it is Snowfall. Yes, Snowfall premieres tonight on FX for its sixth and final season. Man, I'm hurt by that. It's because I did not know it was six seasons to this show. When I say I haven't watched not one episode of Snowfall, I haven't watched one episode. And I kick myself because every year when it comes out, I'm like, oh man, I gotta get caught up. I gotta get caught up. It For 6 years I've done that, and here we are. It's about to end, and I feel like a fool. I mean, highly recommended from a lot of my close friends who I shall share similar likes to, So if they like it, I'm pretty sure I would. I just don't know why it has slipped through the cracks with me. But I promise that I will get around to watching this show. This show was created by the late great John Singleton, who we lost a couple of years ago. John Singleton, who's given us Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Higher Learning. The list goes on and on. Oh, I missed him. Very talented brother. One of the biggest influences on me, as a filmmaker or aspiring filmmaker. John Singleton was somebody I looked up to, and we lost him way too early in life. And this was his brainchild. He helped bring this to light. The show premiered in 2017, and man, it feels like yesterday. I'm telling y'all, I did not know that it was 6 seasons. 6 seasons, my God. Well, actually 5. We going into the 6th season. I'm like, my God, boy, I let that slip. But the show follows. In case you don't know, and in case you're like me and haven't watched it, the series revolves around the first crack epidemic and its impact on the city of Los Angeles. This is set in, initially set in 1983. The series follows the stories of several characters whose lives are fated to intersect. A 20-year-old drug dealer by the name of Franklin Saint, a Mexican luchador by the name of El Uso, CIA operative Teddy McDonald, and a Mexican crime boss's niece. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. But one weekend, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I'm gonna pull it off. I will sit down and I'm gonna binge season 1 to wherever it is currently. It'll probably be over and done with by the time I do that. But I will sit down and watch it. But for those of you who are blessed enough to be all caught up in season 5, season 6, its final season will premiere tonight on FX. All right. This next one is kind of confusing, but just bear with me. This 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 was a show technically, but they lumped it all together and it made a movie, and it's dropping this upcoming weekend. Die Hard, the movie, and it stars Kevin Hart. If you never heard of Die Hard, not Die Hard, Die Hard, uh, it was a 10 episode series that was on this short lived little app service, Quibi. And in case you don't remember what Quibi was, it was like these little 15-minute episodes. The point of the app was to have TV shows for people with short attention spans, and it was like 15-minute episodes. Like if you're on the toilet or something, you can watch these little episodes on your phone, and it was exclusive on your phone. You couldn't download the app on your TVs or nothing like that. It was exclusive to the phone. Because I remember when I think I changed providers, cell phone providers, and Quibi was, one of the free apps that I got. Or I had a trial. I forgot how it went, but I had like a month trial for Quibi. And as soon as I got the trial, it went bankrupt and shut down. So I couldn't watch it because not only was Die Hard on there, it was a couple of other little mini shows, I guess you could call it, that I wanted to watch. I think they did a remake of the Fugitive television show, uh, and some other shows. I can't remember, but like I said, it was little 15-minute episodes, and they should have known that wasn't gonna work. But anyways, when Quibi went under, they sold the contents to Roku, I believe, and Roku was playing those episodes and stuff like that. Well, somebody in their infinite wisdom decided to lump all 10 of the Die Hard series episodes into one movie, and it is going to be released on Prime Video this Friday, February the 24th. And I must say, I'm slick style excited for this for this movie. I mean, me and Kevin Hart got a love-hate relationship going. I love Kevin Hart, but sometimes Kevin Hart can be just a little too much Kevin Hart for me, and I get I get tired of the same old Kevin Hart. But as of late, Kevin Hart has been diversifying his little catalog. His performances has been different. And I've enjoyed it for the most part. I loved Fatherhood. That was a different little turn. Um, oh my God, what's the other movie? It was another movie he did that was kind of different from the norm, and I really enjoyed the performance. Uh, Not so much The Man from Toronto, but it was, and definitely not Me Time. But it was another film in there. But anyways, he 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 gave me hope. He gave me hope. Now for Die Hard, the movie, I'm more than certain this is gonna be your typical uh Kevin Hart. Now, the premise of this movie, I guess you could call it, it follows a fictionalized version of Kevin Hart as he tries to become an action movie star. He attends a school ran by Ron Wilcox, who is portrayed in here by John Travolta, where he attempts to learn the ropes on how to become one of the industry's most coveted action stars. So, yeah, I'm all for that. Kevin Hart, John Travolta. Uh, hey, what's the hurt? Die Hard, the movie, drops on Prime Video this Friday, February the 24th. This next film is a Netflix film that I have no knowledge about. I really don't know all the ins and outs of this film, but it looks like something different, a little change of pace. Plus, I like British horror, and this is exactly that. This is The Strays, which drops on Netflix this Friday, February the 24th, and it is as I said, a British horror thriller, and it follows Nev, who lives a peaceful life in the suburbs with her family and successful job at a private school. When she finds a strange man and woman appearing strangely at odd moments, she starts to doubt her sanity. She turns to her friends and family for assistance, but they refuse to believe her. Uh, that's just a snippet of it. There's more to that because she is very fair skinned. She can almost pass as a white woman, but there's deeper roots there in this story that has to deal with colorism and racism. So that brings a different dynamic to this film. So that's what I got from the trailer, and that's what really piqued my interest and really got me wanting to check this movie out. So um that's pretty much all we have to it. It looks interesting, looks a little creepy at times. I'm all for that, and it may get you to scratch your head. So who knows? Maybe thought provoking. We shall see this Friday on Netflix. The Strays. Our next Can't Wait is also on Netflix, and this one here is for the family, I guess. And it is We Have a Ghost. It is an upcoming American family comedy horror film written and directed by Christopher Landon, who gave us just a gem. Gave us a gem with Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2. And Christopher Landon, in case you don't know, is the son of the late Michael Landon. Yes, Michael Landon. You remember Highway to Heaven and what is it? Little House on the Prairie? Yeah, that Christopher Landon. Well, that Michael Landon. This is his son, Christopher Landon, who is becoming a very, very well respected director in Hollywood. Like I said, uh, uh, the Happy Death Day movies. He's also had his hands in the Paranormal Activity films and so on and so forth. He's pretty accomplished, man. I really enjoy his films, and this looks very exciting. This film stars David Harbour, Anthony Mackie, Jennifer Coolidge, and many more. The premise of this film: after discovering that their new home is haunted by a ghost named Ernest, Kevin creates a YouTube channel and makes the ghost and his family internet famous. However, when Kevin and Ernest start to uncover the truth about Ernest's past, they become the target of the CIA. I am all in on this movie. This looks good. David Harbour, he plays the ghost in this. He plays Ernest. You know, uh, David Harbour. I, is this a David Harbour Renaissance type deal? Because for the past few years, this man has been just killing it. He has been killing it. Stranger Things, Hellboy. Even though I hated Hellboy, but he was good in it. You know, the Red Guardian and Black Widow and so many more. I just love David Harbour. I always did. When David Harbour would pop up in supporting roles, like The Equalizer or I think it was was it Skyfall? Oh, and Suicide Squad and just many. He was in everything at one point, but he was that actor that you you've seen him. He's been in so much, but you don't quite know who he is. Now you know who he is. David Harbour is a leading man in Hollywood, and I'm excited for this. This has shades of like Freaky, which was also directed by Christopher Landon. Freaky was a real good film, real fun film, and this has those same vibes. And I'm excited to see how it all turns out. We Have a Ghost is scheduled to be released this Friday, February the 24th on Netflix. Okay, everybody. Okay, we done played around long enough. We done played around long enough. Yes, we got a couple of TV shows. We got a couple of movies over on Netflix. That was all fine and good. Now it's time for the main event. For all of you who are fans of this show, and thank you all, love you all. And you can think back to the most anticipated films of 2023 episode, and we discussed a particular film. And I almost put it at number one because this movie checks every box in the Kevin Reed love affair playbook. This movie, I am so hyped up for. Is weird because it's only February. It can only go up from here for me or down from here. I don't know the correct terminology. I really don't care. At this point, it doesn't matter because we're here. We have arrived to Cocaine Bear. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this Friday in theaters, we get the release of Cocaine Bear. Oh my God. Every time I say that, my spine tingles. I get a little shiver up my spine. Do y'all understand the insanity of just the title of this movie? Cocaine Bear. This is a movie about a bear that ingests cocaine. Say no more. Man, you have no idea how many checks I have already written to go see this movie. I am so hyped up for this movie. It is bananas. This is an action comedy directed and co-produced by Elizabeth Banks, who is just a funny actress, a real good actress. And she has begun her directing career. She directed the last Charlie Angels movie, which wasn't all that good, but it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the greatest thing. But this right here, man, I'm I don't know, man. It's like everybody involved with this was on cocaine. I don't understand where this. Well, I understand where this come from because believe it or not, this is inspired by a true story, people. The true story goes like this: an American black bear ingested a duffel bag full of cocaine in 1985, and just imagine what took place in the film. This is the premise. After ingesting a duffel bag full of cocaine, a 500-pound American black bear goes on a killing rampage in a small Georgia town where a group of locals and tourists must join forces to survive the attack. My God, people. Oh, is it Friday yet? Is it is it Friday yet? The film stars Kerry Russell, O'Shea Jackson Jr., uh, Adrian Eggerite, who you may know as the young Han Solo from the Solo film, um, Jesse Taylor Ferguson, and Isaac Whitlock Jr., and the late great Ray Liotta, who this is his last performance before he passed away last year. Oh, man, I cannot wait for this movie. I got tears in my eyes while I'm talking to y'all, people. This movie is about a bear that, that ingests cocaine and goes on a rampage. Who does not want to see this movie? This is everything to me. This is everything to me. There's no way this movie can disappoint me. No way on earth. Reason being, I'm not expecting an Academy Award winning performance from the bear. I'm not expecting just jaw dropping special effects here. I'm not expecting all the actors to give this tear jerking performances, and all this here. I'm not expecting that. What I'm expecting, what my main purpose to going to see this movie is to see a bear go bananas. And that's it. As long as I see that, I don't care. I want to see this bear rip people apart. Yeah, I'm sick. Yeah, I know people. I know y'all sitting there like, what am I listening to? Look, this is what it's all about. This is what the movie is all about. And that's all I care about. I am so excited for this movie. This isn't a question of if I'm going to see this. It's a question of how many times I'm going to see this. Oh my God, man. this Friday. This Friday in theaters, February the 24th, we get the release of Cocaine Bear. Those are your can't waits this week, man. Oh my God, Cocaine Bear. Yes, you have Bel Air dropping tomorrow, Thursday the 23rd, on Peacock. You have Snowfall premiering tonight in its final season on FX. Die Hard, the movie, dropping on Prime Video this Friday. The Strays over on Netflix this Friday, as well as we have a ghost on Netflix this Friday. And people, ma'am, sir, brother, sister, loved ones, enemies, you have Cocaine Bear in theaters this Friday. Which one are you excited for? Can you guess which one I am? I can't wait for this movie. Anyway, which one are you most excited for? Let me know. Contact the show by email, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. Also, look me up on Twitter at KB Radio Network, as well as other social media platforms. Just look up the KB Radio Network. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you're currently listening to the KB Radio Network, go ahead and give those 5 stars, reviews, and share this show with all your friends, your families, your side pieces, and everybody else in your circle. And don't forget that we are on YouTube as well. Swing over to YouTube and give us a subscribe there. Everybody, thank you for joining me today, this Wednesday, last Wednesday of February 2023. Glad that you joined me. And as always, I want you all to know I love you. Continue to love one another. And until we speak again, you all be blessed.